This summer, the Fremont Area Historical Society put on a display of Tustin, Wisconsin, and its importance of Lake Poygan to its history. I am so intrigued by the work that was put into this by some special volunteers. Thanks to them, we were able to learn more about Tustin, Wisconsin, and it made me want to go back in time to see them for myself. Let me share some of the Tustin display with you. Photos are from the Richard and Jean Smith collection, along with contributions from Chase, Ray, and Judy Shierland. Information was found in the book Historic Lake Poygan and news articles. The village of Tustin, a trading center with steamboats and sawmills, blacksmiths, and boat builders. In the late 1800s, 400 settlers called it home. Charles Freer, an important immigrant, purchased 100 acres of land in the 1800s and created Tustin, named after another early settler who was a hardware merchant. Later, Tustin became well known for the duck hunting and fishing on Lake Poygan. Tustin had its own one-room schoolhouse. It was built in the late 1800s and had about 40 students in the 1890s. The photo is of the Tustin school students of 1957. Pictured are Chris Beretta, Dale Schmidt, Norman Buchholz Jr., Richard Smith, Dave Schmidt, Darnell Greening, Al Unger, Arb Boyson, Jim Unger, Jim Boyson, Tom Boyson, Catherine Tina Unger, Robert Blackburn, and teacher Evelyn Anderson. This is the first store John Boyson operated as a general store and saloon. It no longer exists and is the site of a boat trailer parking lot owned by the town of Bloomfield. This is another store of John Boyson's that sold groceries and hardware. Also in the late 1800s, John Boyson bought produce from the neighboring farmers who brought it to Tustin by horse and wagon. He would ship it by steamboat to Oshkosh in the morning and return in the afternoon. This was the Clark and Lefevre boat line, whose home port was right in Tustin. Tustin had a post office, telephone line to Poughkeepsie, and one to Fremont. It was one of the area's largest sawmills in this part of the country. Later added to town was a flour mill, blacksmith shop, and wagon shop. The mill was fueled by a steam engine that burned the slabs from the sawmill. There was a huge potato warehouse near the dock. Many nights this warehouse was open well into the night, with men grading and sacking potatoes by lanterns for light. This photo shows a busy day at Gerke's Garage in downtown Tustin. We don't know who the man in the top hat is, but Chris Berniger is hiding behind him at Boyson's Bar. This photo is from the late 1800s or early 1900s. Looking east toward Indian Point, a horse and wagon is tied up in front of Boyson's store. The next buildings were the barber shop and Gerke's Garage. The last visible building is the Otto Sassy Hotel with the second floor balcony, which eventually became the Tustin Hotel. The hotel had numerous owners over the 100-plus years of history. Patrons came from Milwaukee and Chicago, some even with questionable backgrounds such as Babyface Nelson. Thanks again to the Fremont Area Historical Society for the Tustin display for the summer of 2022.